in the transfer window. Let's listen to this answer. Valuations have to be made between the selling club and the buying club. And it's difficult, but it shows there are a lot of clubs with a lot of financial power to spend big amounts. And we have to compete with them. Fair. Arsenal has to compete with those clubs too. To be smart, we have to see good opportunities and we have to be attractive for players. Now, at the end of the day, players decide where they want to play. And if they want to play for our club, that is great. That is the greatest hint. That is the biggest thing. Players decide where they want to play, regardless if another club is willing to be stupid, like Manchester United have been doing, overpaying for Anthony, overpaying for Casemiro, overpaying for players, overpaying wages, and now they're trying to retract them. Or Chelsea trying to overpay for players, try to overpay wages. Players have the right to decide where they want to play. Chelsea are making this deal with Mudryk and Shakhtar Donetsk very difficult for them coming into the deal to muddy the waters, right? I get it. They're always bragging and thumping their chest how much they can pay, but you can't negotiate affection all the time. You cannot buy every player. I get most players are mercenaries. They go to the highest bidder sometimes, but sometimes players have their preferences, and this has to be respected. No matter how much the media spin the fact that Chelsea are willing to pay more, haven't they agreed with Shakhtar if they're willing to pay more? Aside from that, players have a say so, regardless how we want to twist it and make some certain narrative favor what we want regarding we are an Arsenal fan or a Chelsea fan. The will of the player is very, very important. Let me remind Chelsea fans, Rafinha, you wanted him at all costs. You were willing to pay more to Leeds. And Rafinha dug his heel and said he wanted to go to Barcelona. And they say Leeds agreed to deal with Barcelona. Number one. Number two, Lewandowski. Chelsea wanted Lewandowski in the summer. And Lewandowski wanted only Barcelona. Chelsea were willing to pay more. And the player still ended up at Barcelona. Chelsea tried to, in the late hour, to hijack Richarlison to Tottenham Hotspur. The player was still keen on going to Tottenham Hotspur. It happened. See, all this nonsense that Chelsea are trying to do, it doesn't work all the time. I get they have a bit of money, they have a bit of bragging rights, but you cannot always negotiate affections. You cannot always negotiate affinity. The player's will is as important as both clubs, both Arsenal and Shakhtar or Chelsea, agreeing a deal. You have to factor on the player's will. If the player is keen on a certain club, you cannot bully them to submission going to another club. You can't. Players have rights. So this fake optimism, I don't care whether Fabrizio is rephrasing now, twisting for traction. I respect Fabrizio, but I understand why he has to write certain tweets the way he writes it, because he wants to trigger a lot of fans, which is fine. But I understand sensible fans who can read between the line that this player has been look at his Instagram story. He has been watching Arsenal games. He has been hailing Arteta. He has been flirting with all Arsenal tweets. He wants to come to Arsenal. I get it. Arsenal have to compromise and get a deal done with Shakhtar. At the same time, Shakhtar cannot force the player to sign for Chelsea, even though Chelsea might be willing to offer a bit more. But I find it very ironic that Chelsea that are willing to offer a bit more have not yet offered what Shakhtar Donetsk would consider an acceptable deal. So it's crazy. So Arteta dropped a hint during his pre-match press conference against Oxford in the FA Cup on Monday, and I think this hint says it all. Let me read it. It was asked on whether there is still value for money in the transfer window. Let's listen to this answer. Valuations have to be made between the selling club and the buying club. And it's difficult, but it shows there are a lot of clubs with a lot of financial power to spend big amounts. And we have to compete with them. Fair. Arsenal has to compete with those clubs too. To be smart, we have to see good opportunities and we have to be attractive for players. Now, at the end of the day, players decide where they want to play. And if they want to play for our club, that is great. That is the greatest hint. That is the biggest thing. Players decide where they want to play, regardless if another club is willing to be stupid, like Manchester United have been doing, overpaying for Anthony, overpaying for Casemiro, overpaying for players, overpaying wages, and now they're trying to retract them. Or Chelsea trying to overpay for players, try to overpay wages. Players have the right to decide where they want to play. That is the greatest thing. I will see Mudryk publicly flirting Arsenal in his Instagram stories numerous times. Well-documented flirting. So, Arsenal fans, calm down. I get it's frustrating. We wanted this deal to be wrapped up as quick as possible, but we might have to wait to the tail end of the transfer window, because I believe both Shakhtar and Arsenal will eventually, keyword eventually, reach a compromise and get this deal done. Now, he is not worth 100 million euros. Trust me. He's barely had two great seasons in a Ukrainian league. He's barely had 20 appearances for his country. He's a fantastic prospect. I get it, but he's not worth 100 million euros. Shakhtar are trying to milk it, and Chelsea have given Shakhtar the fuel and the gas to protract this deal, to make it a saga, because Chelsea want to push for this player. And the player doesn't want to go to Chelsea. He wants to play for Arsenal. It's public knowledge number one to everybody that this player wants to play for Arsenal. Arsenal fans, calm down. I believe in the region of 90% that but before the end of the transfer window, Mudryk will sign for Arsenal, and Shakhtar and Arsenal will reach a compromise and they'll reach a deal. You like my content and subscribe. Do me a favor by subscribing to the channel. Very, very important. Make sure you like the videos, guys. Stop ghost watching. Support the channel by liking the videos and make sure notifications are turned on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.